What's going on, guys? Bank Robber Games here with more ADACA Zone Patrol. And last episode when we left off, it was a really cool episode. We did play through the mission Operation Earhorn, which we unlocked after repairing the radar dish in the beachhead starting area. We also moved over into this area, the dish, and explored some of it as well. Found a few interesting things, a couple of artifacts as well, which is really cool. So I highly recommend going back and watching the last episode if you haven't seen it, because we did get quite a lot done, and then that way you're up to date with where we are. But starting this episode, we are, like I said, in the dish area, and we are over by the entrance to the haunt, just to make it easier for you guys to keep track of what we're doing. So in this main dish that gives this area its name, come down to this pipe here. There is the all-important flamingo guiding over this artifact, along with a weapon chest that can sometimes have a nice weapon in it. For some reason, I don't know why, but on a certain weapon that we'll find later on, and some goggles that highlight things in the environment to us that we'll get later on. This flamingo is highlighted across the map, but I'm not sure why. So let me know down in the comments if you know a reason for that, and if it's actually tied to anything else. But I've not been able to discover anything with it at the moment. So for now, we're not going to worry about that. Instead, we're just going to go the other side of this main cable and over to the main road, which we would have come down in the campaign. Over here as well, there is this drop pod, and it's got a unique plasma rifle, I think it is, called the Pulsar. Very cool. It's burst fire, and the secondary fire, rather than being like a shotgun pulse blast, it's more like a concussion rifle shot. And although it's got a lot of ammo, we will eat through it very quickly. That was cool. You can see it does burn through ammo very quickly. Up here in this tent that does serve as like a little military, a little mercenary compound in the game, I think it is. There is some body armor on the top bunk here. So if you don't want to purchase it from the quartermaster on board the back ship, you can always come here when you first go down into the zone and yeah, pick it up from there. It won't unlock the upgrade for you back on the ship though. And over here there is another artifact hidden in the corner. And something else that I'm going to want to point out, which is the same as the campaign, and might make exploring the zone a bit easier for you if you are struggling, is there is a hidden weapon up here, the same as the campaign, and that is a unique rocket rifle. Let's me pick it out. Did not mean to fall down, but that's fine. And that is the tank gun. And as you can see, it has a lot more ammo than a regular rocket rifle, and I do actually recommend picking this up, because it can make some of the tougher enemies that can spawn in a lot easier to take down. So like I said, I do recommend picking this up, especially at this point in the game where you haven't necessarily got the best weapons or the best equipment. And then up here there is a crossbow, same as the main game, along with some bolts. There is also one down there you can pick up, attached to the mannequin head up here. And it's a relatively powerful weapon, and you can also pick up the bolts again, so it can be useful in for that. But this is actually a weapon we can purchase, and so we can start each zone patrol run off with it in the future. So I'm not going to worry about picking that up for the time being. So yeah, Freescrappers codex entry here. Some free scrapper signs. And this gives us our first sort of safe zone within Zone Patrol. See, it's a little bit of a free scrappers base. Over here is our first new vendor, and this is actually quite a useful one. They've got slightly more advanced weapons. See the tactical shotgun there, the laser magnum as well, very useful weapon. Doesn't start off with the most amount of ammo, but once we unlock the ammo bag upgrade, or the molly or mole, or however you want to say that, the max ammo for the laser magnum is much better. The machine gun is also a very useful weapon. You might also get some use out of the DMR and heavy rifle. The tactical battle rifle is an extremely powerful weapon, but it does run out of ammo very, very quickly. We do also have a tactical combat rifle, a very, very powerful weapon, probably one of the best all-round weapons for the game and Zone Patrol. But there is a way we can get this for free later on, so don't necessarily worry about purchasing this unless you really, really want to. For now though, we are going to purchase that ammo upgrade, and we're not going to get most use out of it straight away, but we will be able to pick it up every time we leave the ship to re-enter Zone Patrol, and use the ammo store in the Quartermaster's armory to max out on our ammo and make exploring the zone just a little bit easier in general. We are also going to purchase some codex entries, because you will notice that these ones aren't free. So ones we want to pick up is this BHBSMT535, and thankfully that is does only cost one artifact. And we're going to want to pick up Node Key 2, and this is probably one of the most important items through the entirety of Zone Patrol. So you notice the Node Key 2 entry we can't delete, so that does tell you how important it is. But there is also this codex entry here, BHBSMT535, and that may not make the most amount of sense, but to some of you it will, and because these letters and numbers here should be familiar to you if you've seen the previous episodes in this series. But as we came in, we did get told that Calliope wants to speak to us, which is this person here. So that does give us a new mission to track down the missing free scrapper scout, and it mentions there that he was plotting geomarkers in the dish. So it does point you in the direction of our first geomarker, and you might have seen one of the geomarkers before in one of the previous episodes. I didn't point it out because it's only really relevant to this quest. Now we're not quite done yet because there's some things we can pick up in this free scrapper base. So if we just head down to the ground floor, and this should be familiar to you if you have seen or played the campaign series. There is an artifact in this sort of barrel store attached to the building. Down here there is another codex entry, and that is another Freescrappers entry. I'm not sure where Freescrappers 2 entry is unless it's sold by the vendor. I'll have a quick look for that on our way back out. Just talking about establishing this as a bit of a Freescrappers base. And then if you remember in the campaign, we could climb this crane and there was a laser magnum at the top of it. We're not quite that lucky this time. As you might be able to hear, there is an artifact. There is some energy ammo though. Over here, there is another artifact. Where this is where you come out of in the campaign. We obviously can't go back that way. And we can just make our way back up to the entrance. Like I said, I'll check out the vendor if they have the other Freescrappers codex entry. Also, just like the campaign, there is a little sword in the stone Easter egg, and I still haven't found a way over to it, so I don't think there's anything you can do. So yeah, here is the second Freescrappers entry. And I'm not going to buy these codex entries just yet, because I want to make sure we've got enough artifacts to purchase some equipment quite soon actually. But don't worry, I will get these at a later date. And if you've been shouting at your screen about this, don't worry, we will cover it soon. I'm just going to leave it for the time being because we've got plenty of other things to be exploring. So if we just head back to the main road and turn right at this camp. Does seem like the phone is ringing again. Up here, just outside this gate, the main road there, there is the first geomarker. It says location of a particularly interesting water feature due north of here. So if we look at the map, the storm drain and beachhead is the only areas north of here, directly north of here. So again, it just points you in the direction that you need to go to in order to carry on with the quest. It'd be rude not to answer the phone before we do that. Again, very mysterious. And for now, we're just going to be heading back into the storm drain, following the hints from the geomarker we found. Pointed us in the direction of the next one we need to get in order to progress this quest. Seems like the phone is ringing again. Another mentioning of a coal snake there, which is something that got mentioned a couple of times in the main game. And we've also seen the coal snake being mentioned a couple of times already within the zone patrol mode. So obviously seems like something quite important. So here is the Arrowhead 1 bunker we saw a little while ago. It was last episode. Mentioning the tunnel system. And there was also a mention of a code for this door. We have got this code. It is the Arrowhead code here, but we're not going to worry about opening it just yet. But don't worry, we will definitely come back to it. So that geomarker did mention tunnel system. So we're going to check out the catacombs, and this is quite a maze-like area. Can be very easy to get lost in it, but you will eventually, hopefully, figure out your way through it. Got another codex entry here. Again mentioning Aiden Savlo. Come into this room with this. All these plants. There is another artifact hidden there. Now we're going to want to look for Lab 28. And this is an area we've seen mentioned before. Looks like another message from the doctor. It's Dr. Sanchez mentioning a stronghold in the swamp side of town. So you can tell with this symbol here as well. This is to do with the conflux. See the like sort of control helmet things they've got on. Potentially being controlled by someone. Sounds a little bit like the Matrix here. Powering machines by the thermal power. Nice little interaction with the Major there. Another area where we can get some electrical grenades, the stun grenades, some energy weapon ammo, and also a plasma pistol, if that's your sort of thing. We'll stick with the pulse pistol for now. There is an artifact here, along with another terminal. Looks like they're rallying for something. Also in this part of the room there is another artifact. Being some like meat chunks of some of the skitterbug things we've seen in the main game and we might run across in the future in Zone Patrol. Code is now one of the 3 sacred sequences as sung by the Unseen Oracle. So that's hinting at the numbers we heard on the radio on a previous episode. It's talking about the haunts there. But don't worry, that's something we'll explore in the future. And you can see some of the test subjects here being turned into conflux soldiers, I guess. And we're going to fire these cables here. Mentioning of a marksman that's been sent to Junction 6. And they've appeared a little bit sooner than I sort of anticipated. But don't worry, we will take them out. So we're just going to follow these cables. To another artifact. And like I said, this area is very maze-like. So to find our way back, we are just going to follow these cables back down to lab 28. Just down there. And now we're going to head back to the entrance where we first came into the catacombs. And this is just to hopefully make navigating this area easier for you guys. So we have come across an anomaly there. Here's one of the electrical anomalies. If we could find a power cell, we could deactivate it. I don't know what happened with the frame rate there. Never happened before. Still there. Right, so I can't exactly follow my notes, which is a bit annoying, but we're in the office. And we can come back this way. Another sign for the exit. And as you can see, there is the electrical anomaly. But as long as you make your way to the exit room, just follow the signs. And we're going to want to try and get to this part of the tunnel. This is the main office. Actually sure what's down there. Anyway, so from the office, go down here. You need to look for this red shipping container. And there's the other sort of main tunnel where we just saw the sign for Lab 28. Here is the main tunnel I pointed out on the map. And here's another artifact for us to get. So we are here. And looking at how long this episode has been, I think here is a pretty good place to wrap it up. I was hoping to get more of the catacombs done this episode, but it is quite a maze-like area, so I'm trying to make things as easy as possible for you guys to follow. I'll try and be a bit more direct next episode for you guys. And yeah, we still got quite a bit of the catacombs to explore. And then there was that sniper squad that was mentioned being back at Junction 6 that we'll have to take out. And we'll do that quite soon as well. Hopefully we'll get that in on next episode. Hopefully this episode has been reasonably easy for you guys to follow. But feel free to leave comments below asking any questions you would like, or also pointing out anything you think I've missed. But overall, I do hope you guys enjoyed this episode and have been enjoying the series so far, and also been finding it useful. If you have been finding it useful and enjoying the series, make sure to like and subscribe. That way you don't miss out on the next part of this guide. But thanks again for watching. I always appreciate having you guys here, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.